Welcome to Warehousing Unboxed, an IWLA podcast. Today we're unboxing another hot topic that affects many warehouse owners across North America and around the world: industry changes and technology affecting the world of fulfillment. We're also going to showcase the Fulfillment Forum that's taking place just next month in Ontario. It's going to be in Toronto, August 7th and 8th. It's a great event. We'll tell you more about that. Some great speakers lined up. It's going to be an amazing event. So we hope to see you out there. We'll talk more about that as the episode gets on here. Today's episode is entitled Logistics Unpacked: Tech Trends and the Fulfillment Forum. And today we're joined by Steve Congro. He's Vice President of Warehouse Systems at Saddle Creek Logistics Services. Steve, how you doing?
Thank you. Doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you on board here today. And many of our listeners probably familiar with Saddle Creek. You guys are a very large brand. In fact, I literally just saw one of your trucks driving through Chicagoland here on my ride home last night from the headquarters here at IWLA. But could you just give us a little bit about Saddle Creek, a little snapshot on what you guys do?
Sure, yeah. So Saddle Creek's been around since 1966. We're founded in Central Florida by David Lyons. We're still a family-owned 3PL to this day. Saddle Creek has about 49 locations and just over 30 million square feet of warehouse space around the country, all in the continental U.S. Really go to market with three verticals. So one is transportation. You mentioned seeing our trucks. Awesome. We go with transportation, more traditional warehousing, more pallet in, pallet out, grocery, type accounts. Saddle Creek really grew up in food and beverage and those types of accounts over the years. And the third is what we're really here to talk about is fulfillment, and what we consider fulfillment, more each picking in the facility, parcel shipping directly to consumers, as well as B2B fulfillment, because that's a component that not everyone always talks about.
Yeah, excellent. So, Steve, what about your role as Vice President of Warehouse Systems? A new role for you. What are you doing there at Saddle Creek?
Sure. So my role as Vice President of Warehouse Systems is overseeing all of our operational systems that interface with our warehouses. So our WMS teams, order management, parcel shipping, as well as integration. So how we integrate to and from our clients. That falls under my team.
Okay, great. And one thing that you've also been doing is helping us prepare for the Fulfillment Forum, which is coming up, as I mentioned, Thursday, August 7th and Friday, August 8th in beautiful Toronto. We're joined by Steve Congro. He's Vice President of Warehouse Systems. I'm Jay Capron. I go by JC here at IWLA, and we are excited about the guest speakers that are lined up. We're going to have, I'll give you that list of speakers, some people that, if you're in the industry, you've heard some of these names, familiar podcast hosts and some other speakers that you've heard of in this industry. So I'm going to run down that list here in just a minute. But you've been part of this planning committee. Just tell me a little bit why you're excited about this event.
Yeah, this is an event that I've helped out with for the last few years. It's a lot of fun, and it's really educational. Fulfillment is a bit different in terms, compared to traditional warehousing, in that it tends to be more tech focused. It tends to be higher volume, a lot more touches. There's the parcel component involved with that as well, and parcel shipping, because fulfillment and parcel shipping really, to me, go hand in hand. And then what brings that together, and really just the differences between, fulfillment and traditional warehousing. It's one of the things that I've always been excited about, is really looking at each, so in my role oversees both traditional warehousing and fulfillment, but it's one of those things that it's always interesting to compare the differences and best practices that you have with fulfillment, because it is a lot more touches, it is a lot more handling. It tends to be, especially when you're shipping e-com orders, and when you may have thousands of orders a day or tens of thousands of orders a day, depending on what our building, that all have to be, handled, tend to be smaller unit counts. Oftentimes we have fulfillment clients that have average units per order under 2. It's a very different world, and especially for 3PLs that are just getting into the space or have been in the space and really want to take it to the next level. This is really a great opportunity for those organizations to really learn. We share best practices with each other, as far as things that work and guidance and some of the lessons learned we have all learned. I mean, one of the things Saddle Creek's always believed is, we've been involved with IWLA for a very long time as a company, and that by sharing these best practices, by collaborating with our with our partners in the industry, it makes the industry as a whole better, which there then serves our clients better, which there then serves consumers better.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And it's interesting, this collaboration that you'll see in this industry. It's one thing. I'm relatively new to the 3PL warehousing industry. I have a background in marketing communications and actually a radio background. I had an AM radio show for some time. But in this industry, I've noticed just the collaboration. It's these competitors that work in the same markets. They have some of the same customers, but they're always looking to help like sharpen each other's axes and help get tips and tricks. What are you guys seeing? What trends are you seeing? And I like how you mentioned the target audience too. I want to talk a little bit about that because the people who are wanting to go to this event are really the people that are either, like you said, either new, maybe a warehouse owner that's looking to expand, or someone that's been in the industry for some time and they're just looking for alternative revenue. I mean, there's all these opportunities now these days where you can really do different things with your business, and some of it's not even that heavy of a lift with some new technology.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And that's the thing is, if you're just getting into fulfillment, this is not an area where you need to invest tech heavy day one. Especially if you're looking at perhaps your clients that are getting into fulfillment, and kind of pulling you along. Oftentimes some of the same best practices from more traditional warehousing is a good start. It's a really good start to get you into the space. Saddle Creek's been in fulfillment since about 2010. And really, we started as a company in fulfillment with much of the same systems that we use on the traditional side. Now, what we found over the years is as we grow it to scale, sometimes additional systems are needed, sometimes additional technology is needed, but it very much can be a crawl, walk, run model for a 3PL.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's what they're going to talk about. In fact, I polled the committee that's putting this event together, and I said, why would somebody want to go to this event? Maybe tell me. I asked for some feedback, like our listeners, who would want to go, and we talked a little bit about that, how it would be, somebody looking to expand. But one of the committee members, David Yarbrough, said, I think it's important that people know that this is the place to go to get their fulfillment questions answered. So there's going to be speakers there touching on the topics that you want to know about if you're looking to expand in fulfillment. But there's also going to be other people there in the audience that you can talk to after the event, in between breaks, other business owners that are dealing with it. You can really get face to face, and there's going to be some really big industry names there. And it's just really a great opportunity. If you've been thinking about expanding, if you've been thinking about fulfillment, this is the place to be to get those questions answered.
Absolutely. I mean, you hit on a really good point. I mean, because one of the things that the planning committee does with these events is tries to line up speakers, tries to line up panels that cover a wide variety of topics related to fulfillment, everything from marketing to sales to tech to parcel, to the operational side, and I think we do a great job with that. Now, the flip side is that sometimes conversations over lunch, conversations over dinner, the event does a really good job of allowing people to collaborate and to really share some of what they learn in honestly a less formal model where it's just over lunch, it's just over dinner, or at breakfast or something like that, where the conversation between different 3PLs can just flow, and basically go where it goes, and that can be hugely valuable for somebody just starting out.
Yeah, I heard about a lot of those conversations at our most recent convention that took place in Tucson. It's amazing, just out on the golf course, just these questions that certain people are seeing trends in the industry, and they're having these great conversations that end up becoming crucial to the business practices of these business owners as they move forward. And they're always looking for the latest and greatest in technology, ways to save money, ways to do more with less. And you're going to learn about that at this event. So let me just take you back here, let you know that Steve Congro is joining us. He's Vice President of Warehouse Systems. I'm Jay Capron. I go by JC here at IWLA. And we are talking about the upcoming Fulfillment Forum. It's August 7th and 8th. It's in Toronto, so it's about a month. You still have time to get your seat, but you really should book today, because there's going to be a boat ride, which is going to be part of this event. And it's going to be an opportunity for you to go out and enjoy an evening in the beautiful, you can check out beautiful Toronto from the water. And so that's going to be a great networking opportunity. And there's really a limited seats for that event too. So you want to make sure you get your on at IWLA.com. Click the events tab and go ahead and register today, because you're going to want to get your seat on that boat for sure. And you're definitely going to want to get your seat for the forum. And let me tell you about those speakers now. I've got the list pulled up here. And just to give you a handful, there's some other great speakers. Here's a few. Kevin Lawton, who you might know from the founder and host of the New Warehouse podcast. He's got over 600 episodes. And if you haven't heard of the New Warehouse podcast, you should go check it out and stay up to date with the latest in the industry. He'll be speaking. Nathan Cheney, who's the founder of Supply Chain, a supply chain advocate and a podcaster as well. You've got Aaron Alpiter, who will join us as the founder and CEO of ISBA Group. And then there's also a best-selling author, founder of Lead Coverage, Kara Smith-Brown is going to be speaking. So these are just some of the speakers that are going to be taking the microphone at this event and really sharing on these topics. And some of those topics include trends that are reshaping the modern warehouse, the evolution of fulfillment, how adapting and learning in the life cycle of fulfillment pricing. If any of this stuff is resonating with you, you definitely want to come and to check it out. Go to IWLA.com. Click the events page and register today for this great event. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to join a group of industry experts and enjoy some time in beautiful Toronto. So, Steve, again, this event, it was born out of a need for it, really. That's what the group had found, is that, as you mentioned, it covers everything from sales and marketing to everything else in between that you need to get ready if you're going to expand in your fulfillment needs and adapting and changing with the environment. What are some of the trends and changes that you've been seeing? What are some of the things that maybe you're excited to hear about with this event?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I think is very interesting to see is when it comes to fulfillment, how retailers are balancing their B2C traditional e-commerce style fulfillment with more B2B shipping. So, for example, one of the things that a lot of pure play e-commerce companies are realizing is there's still a need to be in brick and mortar stores. There's still a need to have their products in a storefront where people can shop and browse in more of a traditional model. And one of the things that we've seen over the last few years is how much that's grown in the industry, and how many retailers that were maybe previously pure play e-commerce are no longer purely e-commerce. E-commerce is still a big component, but they've also balanced that with B2B type work and that type of volume. And so I think it's always interesting to see how companies balance those different order types and that different flows throughout their facility.
That's Steve Congro. He's joining us. He's the vice president vice president of warehouse systems at Saddle Creek Logistics Services. I'm Jay Capron, director of strategic initiatives here at IWLA, and we are talking about the warehouse forum, the fulfillment forum, taking place August 7th and 8th in Toronto. Again, check out our website, IWLA.com. Just go to the events page and register today. Bring a friend, bring a colleague, and learn more about what's happening on the latest in fulfillment. I'm kind of curious, you had mentioned at the beginning of our conversation about how you can crawl and you don't have to necessarily run to start at a sprint, right? When it comes to implementing new technology and different and that's what I think is kind of interesting is that like there's different size at IWLA we have over 450 warehouse members, and it's really interesting. We have everybody from the really really small mom and pop warehouse owners that are literally one facility, 20,000 square feet, and that's all they do. And then we have UPS and FedEx and some of the larger partners that we work with as well. So and everyone in between. But what's interesting is when you go to shows like I went to Manifest and ProMat, some of these other shows, and you see all this new technology, and some of it's multi-million-dollar implementation, some of it is just never going to happen for some of the smaller folks. But there is really some really interesting and usable technology that people can start implementing to help them out at a smaller level.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, while Saddle Creek does have, in a number of our buildings, a significant level of automation, oftentimes, especially for smaller 3PLs or even smaller accounts that we have, sometimes it doesn't make sense to have a multi-million-dollar sorter. If the volume's not there, the volume's not there. That equipment oftentimes doesn't pay for itself. Sometimes it's as simple as doing basic cart picking with a good WMS. So just starting from the basics, if your WMS is capable of managing that business, oftentimes that's a good place to start. Is just with your WMS, no other systems, is to understand what it is. Keep track of basic inventory, your basic receiving, your basic outbound functions. Oftentimes you don't need a lot of the fancy stuff. And the next thing I would say is, really, if I were to pick another system, is how you execute parcel shipping. Fulfillment and parcel really go hand in hand, and having some of those basic technologies around parcel shipping, I think, is very important for a 3PL. And sometimes that can be one system. Sometimes that's better to be two different systems. It really depends on your WMS and your systems and your complexity. But that's really where I would look to start. And then after that, then start looking at things like how we integrate. Then you look at things like, do you want to have any sort of technology? I will say technologies like AMRs have a cheaper price point than people realize. It's probably not somebody starting out with their very first facility, but it is a cheaper price point than often realized.
That's Steve Congro joining us here from Saddle Creek Logistics, and we're getting excited for the upcoming events, just about over a month away, and there's a lot of reasons to go. We gave you some of the reasons why you want to go, especially if you're looking to expand at all in fulfillment. You need to be there for sure. But there's also some other great reasons. First of all, Toronto. Beautiful city, easy to get to. I mean, it's really one of the easier cities to get to. So hopefully you can find your way over to and join us for this event for that, and join us for the boat ride. Again, the fabulous waterfront. You're going to have an opportunity with you have an opportunity to join us for that event, and that's going to be a great networking opportunity, drinks and appetizers, those types of things. And then the event itself, all of these great speakers that are going to be answering questions, and not only the speakers themselves, as we talked about earlier, the attendees themselves, the ones who are there that are other business owners, that are other warehouse owners dealing with some of the same deals that you're dealing with, the same market trends, they're dealing with the same challenges, and that's a great opportunity to bounce some things off of those folks and get some of your questions answered. So those are the reasons that I know. Any other reasons that you think that anyone listening should be and should have already signed up at IWLA.com, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is for people who aren't even into fulfillment yet, but are exploring what fulfillment could be. Could it be something that they consider adding to their facility? Maybe it's, right now they're looking to grow and expand. Maybe it's not this year, maybe it's next year, maybe it's the year after. But really, the thing about it is how free everyone is to kind of share best practices. It depends, for companies large and small. So even if you're just thinking about getting into it, it's a great opportunity to discuss, meet people, meet vendors, meet consultants that can potentially help you in that space.
Fantastic. We're about ready to wrap up, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention some of the other great events coming up. We'll touch on the fulfillment forum one last time. I'll give you the dates and the way that you need to the way to sign up at IWLA.com in just a minute. IWLA.com, the same place where you can get all of this great information that I'm about to share with you about our other events that are coming up. We've got the first one up that's coming up just around the corner. You can still try to register. I know we have a couple more hotel rooms available. There's our IWLA marketing workshop and our HR summit. They're happening at the same location, same time, July 10th and 11th at the Embassy Suites in Orlando, and I'll be there for that event. And we're looking we have a good turnout already, and there are a few more slots. So if you want to get in on that, check out IWLA.com, and you can register for that event. For our Canadians, since we've been talking Toronto, I should mention that for IWLA members, our Canada Summer Socials coming up at the Crooked Q on July 17th. So you're going to want to check that out. That is free for our IWLA members. And if you want to have a good time with your Canadian friends, that would be a good place to be, July 17th. Next up, our IWLA Fulfillment Forum that we've been highlighting today, August 7th and 8th in Toronto. So check that out, IWLA.com. Steve and I have given you a million reasons to go sign up, so hopefully you'll do that, and we'll see you out there at that event. The IWLA Technology Symposium is coming up. That's right here in our neck of the woods in Chicago. It's actually in Rosemont on September 3rd through the 5th. We've got our Safety and Risk Conference that's also taking place in conjunction with that, September 3rd to the 5th in Rosemont. And then I'll mention a couple more events. The Canada Fall Outing for our IWLA Canada friends. That's at the Woodbine Racetrack in September. It was a great event last year, and the folks are really excited to come out again to Woodbine Racetrack. We've got our Economics of Warehousing event. That's in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's a really sought-after event. It's if you've been around the industry for a while, you know the Bobs, and the Bobs are going to be speaking at this event in North Carolina, and we're going to have a sold-out event there too. So you're going to want to sign up for that today. Only so many seats available for the Economics of Warehousing course, a wonderful course taught by Bob Moran and Bob Burns. They do an awesome job, and that is October 8th through the 10th in Charlotte, North Carolina. And then I'll finish by mentioning the Legal Symposium, which is November 3rd through 13th through 14th in Chicago here again, and that is on our website as well. And then finally, registration is not open yet, but it will be soon for the IWLA Convention 2026. We're in San Antonio, March 29th through the 31st. It's going to be awesome. We had so much fun in Tucson, sold out event. We had record attendance again, and we look forward to smashing more records again in 2026. So join us when that registration opens. Check it out. We sold out on booths again this last year. We're going to do it again this upcoming year. So get your booth as soon as you can, and we'll see you in San Antonio in March. Steve, the final word. Anything else you'd like to add as we get ready to wrap up?
Hopefully, make the trip to Toronto. Enjoy. It's a good time to go to Toronto. It's August, not January. For those who don't like the cold. No, it's a good time to really get to know people in this industry and see how you can connect with people and keep lasting partnerships with people. So if you have questions down the road, and big companies do that too. I mean, just because Saddle Creek's been in fulfillment doesn't necessarily mean we don't have something to learn too.
Absolutely. That's Steve Congro joining us today, the Vice President of Warehouse Systems at Saddle Creek Logistics. I'm Jay Capron, JC, here at IWLA, and this has been Warehousing Unboxed, an IWLA podcast, and this has been Logistics Unpacked, Tech Trends, and the Fulfillment Forum. We featured the Fulfillment Forum. Hopefully we gave you a bunch of great reasons to come check it out, and hopefully we'll see you in Toronto. Steve, thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely happy to do it, JC.
All right, thank you. That's Steve Congro. I'm Jay Capron, and this has been Warehousing Unboxed. See you in Toronto, August 7th and 8th.